I know you talked about this after a couple games on the road trip, but what do you make of these slow starts and what's behooving you guys at the beginning of these games?
I think we're letting our offense affect our defense a lot. Shot making has a lot to do with it. We struggled all 4 games on the road really to make shots early in the game. So we just got to do a better job getting good looks, not letting our offense affect our defense. And I feel like that would help a lot.
Is it as simple as shot making to you? There's nothing innate about what happened on this trip that you guys can fix or change or approach differently?
I mean, we got to be better rebounding the ball. We got dominated on the glass every game. So that's a big part of it too. And maybe it's just not this isn't like a super analytical answer or super like big basketball mind answer to tell you like sometimes the issue is to just make some shots. I feel like we're getting good looks and we're missing a lot. So, I think both those are big parts of it, and we can do a better job.
Thomas had to start a couple games on this trip. He fit in pretty quick with you guys, at least from our perspective. Why do you think he was able to do that, and what have you liked about what he's brought to you guys?
I think he just came in here knowing what was expected of him. The first text once we texted each other to say, welcome to the team, happy to have you. I've never had a guy text me and say, what do you think I need to bring to this group? I was like, whoa, what a question that is, But I think that he understood that we need his energy, and that can be contagious for us. And a big reason why we've shifted things since he's gotten here. And, I think his energy's been really good for us. And, he's had games where he doesn't make shots or, we're not rebounding as well. But he always does the controllables at a high level. So, you can always appreciate having a guy around like that.
I wanted to ask this, but what after you guys got back past the deadline and have everybody still here? I mean, I imagine that's something you expected by the time you got there. But what does it mean? What does it say, I guess, about certainly the trust that ownership and management has in this group? What does it mean to you just to see everybody back?
I'm excited about it. This is like the least movement I've ever had at a trade deadline, least movement I've ever had from year to year. So I think that consistency has been, really good for this group. And I mean, typically in the NBA, you see when teams are winning, they're not making a ton of deals, So we've been playing well as of late. So that's a big reason why we keep this team together. I mean, it's just the business of the league. If you're not playing as good as you need to be or expect to win, or not, don't like the way your group looks at the time, then you always make a change. But I think we're really comfortable with where our group is right now, and I think that it's from our players to our leadership that we feel like we have a lot of trust in this group.
You said before that even tweets from people with 2 followers can be motivation to you, like very small things. What did not being named an All-Star click anything for you? Did that hit you in any way?
I think that's more like self-motivation. Like it's no secret I was, shitty to start the year, and that's a big reason of that. I picked things up, and things will always balance out. I'm not worried, but it's more an indictment on myself than it is anybody else. So I don't really look at it as like, blame anybody. I think it's more of a frustration with myself, and my job now is just to keep leading this group and win games, and change things around moving forward and keep winning games. So I think is there a motivation that I didn't make that? Yeah, of course, because I'm a competitor and I want to be there. But that's more of an indictment on the way I started the season more than anything.
Thomas, Ty just told us that when you got dealt here, you texted him or the group and said, how can I help this team? And you're one of the first people that's ever done that mid-season for him. What inspired you to do that? Have you done that other places you've been moved to mid-season?
I have before, and for me, it's just, when you go into a new spot, with a great team like this that had the longevity that they do, going to the playoffs, had a great run last year as well. You want to come in and try and gel with the team as soon as you can, especially with a trade like that. So for me, just coming in with our point guards, him, TJ, Pascal, Ben, who's been here, everybody that's been here, I try to open up and try and see what these guys need from me coming into a new environment, with guys that's been here for a while. So it means a lot to me for those guys to just open up and tell me what they need.
What's different when you have to be the starting 5 versus with that second unit? And how do you think you did in that on this road trip in that role?
The difference is, going into the game earlier. You're starting the game off right then and there. So, you have to be precise on everything that you're doing out there, especially with the starting group out there, and realize what your job is out there. Sometimes it might be different from game to game or different from, first lineup to the second lineup. So whatever my guys need me to do out there is what I'm willing to do, and that's what I try to communicate with them.
Well, I guess to go back to what you did text them and say, what can I do? What was their answer, basically? And in any way, have you tried to change your game or manipulate your game in any way to fit specifically what they said, or did they basically tell you what you expected?
To be honest, they told me what it was expected, to come in there, bring my energy, bring the rebounding and shooting and, offensive sounded that I have out here, and then everything else will take into play. They've been very welcoming and very helping with this time too. So, whatever those guys need me to do out there, I'm willing to do. And then they tell me to just go out there and play my game and just be free, which helps a lot as well.
What was different about this midseason switch of teams for you than maybe other ones like LA to Denver, stuff like that?
I have to say the difference had to be the open communication from all standpoints, from top down, from communication standpoint to going out there and just playing the game that we know that we love out there. Wasn't too much of a different concept, and everything else just flowed in as the time goes on. You get familiarity with players and the guys that you play out there with, and the flow of the game, our offense and defense. But it's been great.